it goes.
This is Michael Citizens Corner. I just did a statement of my comments on the extension of the unemployment benefits, and subsequent to that, as I was sitting here in my favorite cigar lounge in the western suburbs of Pennsylvania, I was having a polemic discussion with my good friend Jim, who was beginning to provide some commentary on my comments, agreeing with some, disagreeing with others, but merely a commentary. He's sitting here to my right. Unfortunately, he can't be on screen because we don't have it set up that way. But I invite him to query me, or to at least provide comments that we can discuss for your benefit on the topic of the extension of unemployment benefits. Jim, what are some of the things that you...
Well, Mike, you made a point earlier concerning why is the government extending unemployment by 3 extra months. And I say it's an opening gambit to possibly a permanent unemployment situation, to curtail what they see as a grievance emanating from a growing underclass that, due to the economic situation, can find no solution to their present financial plight. So the government basically is placating this group by extending unemployment for political reasons, but also to avoid this growing phenomenon that we've seen elsewhere, Occupy Wall Street movement. It's really an attempt, I believe, to prevent the enlargement of further demonstrations, possibly even civil unrest among a population that feels the economy has been wrecked by lack of government oversight or criminal intervention from the financial elites, primarily Wall Street. So my belief is the government sees it as incumbent upon them to extend unemployment as a way of placating and mollifying the anger that's stemming from a growing underclass that sees no respite from the economic downturn.
Well, then, do they extend it indefinitely, Jim?
I don't know if they'll extend it indefinitely. I believe they cracked the door open to introducing the option of an elastic period of time, depending on economic climate. As things worsen, I believe there'll actually be moves to extend it perhaps into 3 years, which is basically a government acknowledging the fact that there's a present problem. It has dire consequences for the stability of our republic, and there are simply too many people chasing too few jobs and no immediate hope of alleviating or ameliorating the situation presently. So I think it's just a government gambit to possibly quell what they could foresee as a issue of growing civil unrest.
Well, and you raised some good points, but let me ask you this: what will be the qualifying criteria by which the government determines that the unemployment benefits will terminate?
That's a fair question. I believe the economic indicators will tell them when they can begin to wean the unemployed off of benefits. We're creating a permanent underclass by virtue of, you can argue, globalism, lack of government oversight, lack of banking regulation, but the government understands that there is a pressing urgency to keep unrest in terms of a very in a manageable way.
All right, let me ask you this.
So I think it's a political gambit,
okay,
based on the economic realities.
Well, but okay, you are the special advisors of the President of the United States, and he has asked you, Jim, tell me what I should do.
Well, if you want to retain power, if you want another 4 years, you better make sure that the people receiving benefits think you're in their corner.
Okay. And if you're not concerned about retaining power, but you're doing the best thing for the country, presuming that what you will do to retain power is different.
Maybe the two are synonymous. The retention of political power and ameliorating the economic hardship that a growing segment of the population is experiencing right now. Maybe the two or you know, maybe it's a false bifurcation. Maybe the two are synonymous.
So what you're saying is, if the president is choosing one path to get reelected, that's different than the path that he would choose without any regard to getting reelected. That's one thing. However, there is a possibility that what he is doing to get reelected happens to be exactly what he would otherwise do if his term was up and he couldn't get reelected.
Well, I think even if he was in his final term, I think, you know, there's a social issue. There's an issue of, you know, compassion. I mean, what type of country are we? The economic base has been gutted. The industrial sector has been exported away from the country. Globalism is wreaking havoc with the economic order. This is a recognition and acknowledgement of an existing situation that simply cannot be wished away with any right-wing conservative ideology. These people do want jobs. Jobs are not to be had.
But, and I guess we can conclude on this. I'm not suggesting we do, but if someone is out of work for 2, 3, 4 years, what likelihood do they have of getting the job that they want that meets their economic criteria?
Well, given all the economic forecasts, very unlikely. But we're dealing with the present situation as it exists.
So what you're saying is...
And the government has no choice but to stem the level of discontent that's growing by leaps and bounds every month, every year. So this is really just, I believe this to be, I won't belabor the point, Michael, but I just simply believe this to be a government gambit born of necessity to obviate social unrest, as is manifest in its early stages of the Occupy Wall Street movement.
Well, Jim, you've raised some really good points, and as is the premise of Citizens Corner, it's not to be right or wrong. It's not to take one side Republican, one side Democrat. It's really to pose issues and try to expose facts and get everyone to think about those facts in a clear, decisive manner. There's no right or wrong answer. No one here is looking to be right. They're just looking to do the right thing. And the government's looking to do the right thing. If there was an easy answer, we wouldn't be discussing this, and we certainly wouldn't be discussing extending the benefits from 99 weeks to 113 weeks. But Jim, I can't thank you enough for your comments. For you folks out there, it's food for thought. You need to think about it, and we'll be back to you next week on another topic. This is Michael's Citizens Corner, and both Jim and I are in it with you, and thank you very much.